So let's talk about one of the biggest hurdles you hit when you're learning English. It's moving beyond just understanding the language to actually thinking in it. Today, we're going to break down 10 super powerful daily habits that can literally rewire your brain for fluency.
Does this sound familiar to you? You've got something you want to say, but before the words come out, your brain goes through this clunky, slow-motion process. You think it in your native language, then you mentally search for the translation, and then you try to speak. You know that little pause, that hesitation? That's the translation trap, and it is the biggest thing holding you back from sounding confident and natural. And this slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? On one side, you have that whole translating process. It's exhausting, it's frustrating, and it makes you sound slow and hesitant. But on the other side, that's the goal. Thinking directly in English. It's fast, it feels natural, it's confident. So the big question is, how do we get from the left side of this screen to the right? Okay, our first big strategy is all about a little neurohacking. We're going to rewire the software that's running inside your head. The goal here is to change your internal monologue, to make English the default operating system for your thoughts.
And we're going to do this with 3 really practical steps. First, you're going to narrate your life. Second, you're going to label your world. And third, you'll actually strengthen that focus through a kind of English-only meditation. So let's break down that first one.
All right, habit number 1 is to become your own personal play-by-play sports commentator. As you go about your day, just describe what you're doing in simple English, even if it's just in your head. I am walking to the kitchen. I am making coffee. This sounds almost too simple, but it's incredibly powerful. You're forcing your brain to connect an action directly to an English phrase, completely bypassing your native language. Next up, let's play a little mental game. Just look at the stuff around you, a tree, a car, a building, and name them in English. Now, here's where the real magic happens. What do you do when you don't know the word? Well, instead of immediately grabbing a translator, try to describe the object or what it does in English. For example, it's a thing you use to write on paper. What you're doing is building the crucial skill of thinking around problems in English. Our third habit is a real workout for your brain. For just 5 minutes a day, I want you to sit quietly and just try to hold a single thought, entirely in English. Now, if a thought in your native language sneaks in, that's okay. Just gently guide your mind back. You are literally strengthening the neural pathways in your brain for English-only processing. It's like reps at the gym, but for your mind. Okay, so we've started to retrain our inner voice. Now let's move on to strategy number 2, building the actual engine that produces the language. This is all about how to construct your speech without having to rely on that slow, word-for-word translation.
And the key to this whole thing is something called lexical chunks. These aren't just single words. They're groups of words that native speakers use all the time. Things like, by the way, or I'll see you later. You can almost think of them as pre-built language Legos.
And this is exactly why they're so powerful. Instead of building a sentence one tiny, painful brick at a time, like, I am going to go to, you just grab the whole pre-assembled block. I'm going to go to. Your brain literally doesn't have time to translate because that phrase is already stored as one single ready-to-go unit. Now, building up your language engine also means you've got to avoid some common traps. And one of the biggest mistakes that learners make involves the one tool we all use constantly, the dictionary.
Okay, this habit is absolutely crucial. You have to stop using bilingual dictionaries. Every single time you look up an English word and see the translation, you're just reinforcing that bad habit. Instead, you've got to switch to a learner's dictionary, an English-to-English one. By reading definitions in simple English, you force your brain to stay in the English zone, and you start building a real conceptual understanding of the words.
Habit number 6 is a technique called shadowing. Here's how it works. Find a podcast or a video of a native speaker and just repeat what they're saying, but almost at the same time, with just a split-second delay. You don't even wait for the sentence to finish. This is an intense exercise that trains your mouth and your ears to work at native speed. And believe me, it leaves zero time for your brain to even think about translating.
All right, now for our third and final strategy, immersion. And look, you do not need to move to another country to do this. This is all about redesigning your daily environment so that using English just becomes a natural, normal part of your life.
And we're going to do this in 3 key areas. First, we'll completely transform our digital world. Then, we're going to learn how to mentally prep for real-world conversations. And finally, we'll build a direct bridge from your English thoughts straight onto the page.
So the easiest way to get started is to just change the language on your phone, your GPS, your social media apps, switch it all to English. All of a sudden, you're not just learning words like settings or notifications, you are actively using them to operate your world. It forces English to become a functional tool for you.
Habit 8 is such a fantastic mental trick. Before you go into a situation, like a meeting or even just ordering a coffee, take a second to visualize the conversation. What are they probably going to ask? How will you reply? By preloading these phrases into your mind, you massively reduce that real-time pressure that causes you to panic and fall back into translating.
And for habit 9, I want you to grab a notebook. Every day, just for 3 minutes, write a stream of consciousness journal. Write whatever pops into your head in English. And here's the key. Do not stop to correct grammar or spelling. The goal here is pure output speed. It's all about getting your thoughts out as fast as they appear in your mind.
Okay, we've covered 9 really powerful habits. But honestly, none of them are going to truly work without the 10th and, by far, the most important piece of the puzzle, having the right mindset. This is the psychological key that unlocks everything else.
And this right here is the core idea. You have to embrace being fluently imperfect. The number one biggest trigger for mental translation is the fear of making a mistake. When you demand perfection from yourself, you pause, you start to doubt, and you fall back on translating. It is so much better to make a small error at a natural speed than to be silent while you search for the quote-unquote perfect sentence. Letting go of that need to be 100% correct all the time is what allows you to build momentum. And that momentum, well, that's what we call fluency. It's through speaking fluently, even with some mistakes, that you eventually get the accuracy you're looking for. It doesn't happen the other way around.
So there you have it. 10 habits to rewire your brain, build your language engine, and immerse your life in English. The only question left is which one of these are you going to start with today?